So, how's it going guys? Shady here back to another video, and today we're looking at the new DDD support. So, when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I was a big fan of DDD. I played the whole deck, but that was a long time ago. It was a deck that relied on seeing three starters to do the full combo, so it was something very different from what we have now with the new support that they just announced. And I'm excited to show you the one card combo. There's two variations because depending on what your starter is, the one card combo has those two variations, and how to play True Nibiru with the one card combo, which is really good. So uh, for one card combo, you want to see Kepler, Nightmare Throne, which is basically Kepler, or the new Machinex Pendulum Monster. Any of these three is this line right here, and this line plays to Nibiru while going into full combo. So let's get into it. So first of all, we start into getting our Kepler. We are going to normal summon and get Gate. And then the Gate gets us a missing piece, which is the King Zero Machinex. And Machinex gets us to the Zero King Gate. Um, Contract, I mean. So basically, for the full combo, you need to get into this position where you have Kepler, you have the pendulum, and you have the both the contracts. This is the position you want to get into full combo, because now we are gonna go into the new contract. Gonna activate its effect. It pops the Machinex and summons a Copernicus. Copernicus will send the Lance Soldier. Now you can use Lance Soldier to pop one of the contracts. It doesn't really matter which one, and you special summon. Now, since there's two contracts, you can make him level 4, and we're gonna Xyz into the new King Solomon. Then we're gonna use its effects, detach search for Arthros, because we need a level 4 tuner since we no longer have access to our land soldier. Then we go into King Tel, and we link into Gilgamesh. Now, the correct way is to go King Tel 1, Gilgamesh 2, because your opponent cannot Ash Gilgamesh, and since King Tel is in the graveyard, it's harder to interact. All the things that Gilgamesh is that interacts if Gilgamesh would still interact with him if you go Gilgamesh Chain Link 2 or 1, so it doesn't really matter. So you just protect the King Tel. So we go Gilgamesh, get both our um, scales, and we send Necro Slime with the King Tail. Now we can just Pendulum Summon for the Kepler. No other effects, because we are doing this, which might seem weird to just spend our Pendulum Summon on a one summon. But the thing is, we want to rush into our new Link 3, which is Zeus Ragnarok. Basically, this guy lets us pop a DV or a Dark Contract to give us back our Pendulum Summon for DDD monsters, and it can negate monster effects in the hand. So basically, we're doing this so that we can play around Nibiru. Now we're going to go into our fusion plays by banishing the King Tail and the Necro Slime to get into small Genghis. Then that will trigger Ragnarok to getting the Lancer, and that will trigger Genghis to get the Copernicus. Now we can get into a Synchro 6 for Clovis, and Clovis will give us back anything, but I love getting back the Necro Slime because that means next turn we don't really have to activate any new card. We can just OTK with the graveyard, which is really nice. And then we can go to Caesar right here because we have both the level 6s. That means we can now pop Necro Slime with Ragnarok to get back our Pendulum Summon. And that will trigger Machinex to summon itself so that we don't need to go into the second Gilgamesh to make the Deus Machinex. And now we can Pendulum Summon the two level 4s. Since Arthros is a tuner, you can now go into secret. And this is basically the line that plays around the bureau. And it might seem hard, stupid to go into Arthurus, but I'll show you in a second why you need Arthurus exactly. But this is the one card combo when you have any of those three starters. Now, if you start with gates, it's a little bit different. It's the only starter that you can't get to that position I showed you. So you really need to do it slightly different. So we're going to go into start contracts and we need to get into the Machinex. Then go Machinex, get the other contracts, and we're going to use the contract get into Copernicus, Mill Soldier, and then Soldier will summon itself, get the boost. It's the exact same start. The one thing that's going to change is now for Solomon, you're going to detach and you're going to search for Kepler, um, which is going to normal summon to get the Swamp King, which is the part that differs from every other line. Now you're just gonna go into King Tel first. Sorry, I forgot to do it, so I had to correct it, and then go into Gilgamesh. So now same thing as always. You just get both. You get your scales and get your Necro Slime. You're gonna pendulum for the Kepler, and you're gonna link 3 into Zeus so you don't play around the Nibiru. Now we can go into Necro Slime for small Genghis, and this is where the combo differs. We're gonna go here for the contract with the Swamp King, and I'm gonna use it banishing the Gilgamesh and Solomon, which won't matter because we're gonna summon it back so that we will still keep him in the graveyard. You need to keep the new Xyz, the new Synchro in the graveyard for the big push next turn if you need it. But we are going to get into it. The only problem is that we lose Necro Slime that way, but it's completely fine. Um, so we go into the second Genghis, which will trigger the first Genghis to get the Soldier, which will trigger the second Genghis to get Copernicus, and we can go for Caesar right away. Um, Then we go for Clovis, and I'm choosing Caesar here because I'm still messing around, because this is a new deck, I'm still messing around with positionings. You usually want to keep um, zones open underneath Ragnarok, but you don't really want to play under this zone unless it's monsters that you're not going to keep on your board. So that's why Clovis is the only one that is under the zone. Um, but yeah, now you can go Ragnarok since you made Caesar, since you got Clovis and Clovis as well. You're gonna get back the Lance Soldier so that you can still get into your Siegfried, and Solomon will be back on the field. So we can go into Siegfried, and right now you don't really need to go into your like second pendulum summon. You can just make Machinex here. But since I really want to guarantee that Solomon is in the graveyard, I'm going to use Ragnarok to pop it. And then we go for our second pinned. We make the second Gilgamesh. And yeah, like that. So it's a full board. We keep the Machinex interruption right here because basically you have Caesar, you have Siegfried, you have Ragnarok, you have Machinex, and whenever you use Machinex to pop a contract, you get Machinex to summon and pop something on the field. This combo is slightly better in the sense that since you go into the contract with the Swamp King as well, um, you get like an extra how do you say it, like you get an extra contract to like pop with Machinex, which is really good. And um and yeah, that's basically it for this combo. Let's show now how to play around the beer. So going with the first line, the Kepler line, playing around Nibiru, there's two choke points for Nibiru, which is if we just let it play because it's the exact same combo until we get to the Nibiru part. Um, the two choke points are on your fifth summon and right before you pendulum summon for the first time. So I'll I'll teach you guys how to play around Nibiru like that. So this is just the standard line. I don't need to explain all of this, uh, but we're just going to get Arthras, and this is when your opponent can Nibiru you. Once you go into King Tell, right here. So your opponent probably will Nibiru here, um, because probably he doesn't want you to get scales, and um, people have in mind that Gilgamesh is like the biggest choke point in the deck, so dropping Nib here is usually a good thing to do. But right now, King Tel is gonna drop Necro Slime. Um, the cool thing is we can go Necro, banish, going to Genghis, and now you go Arthras. Arthras says that you can target a spell trap card on the field and another dark contract. So we're going to use it to pop itself and the contract. And since contract was popped, you can trigger Magnex. So it's going to summon itself, and then you can destroy the token. And now Genghis triggers to summon back any monster. But since I want to keep, oh wait, no, never mind. Copernicus should be the one going back. Yeah, um, right here. Yeah. I So now we can get into Gilgamesh with the two monsters, and that gives us scales. We are going to pendulum summon for both our level 4s, and that's going to trigger Ragnarok to get us back our Lance Soldier. We're going to Synchro 6 for Clovis. Clovis, get Necro, and this is full combo. You just go Caesar, go into Ragnar effect, go into another pendulum summon. And right here, we're just gonna go and end like this on Seafrit. We don't end on the Machinex because it doesn't really matter. It would be just like a vanilla because we have um, no contracts for it to pop. Um, but basically, we have still the full um, setup through Nibiru. We have still the Necro Slime for next turn. We have the Solomon in graveyard. We have Clovis under Caesar. So at any point we can get rid of Caesar or in next turn if Caesar doesn't activate to get it in the graveyard. The fusion is going to be Genghis, so we can summon something next turn. We just need to send any pendulum to our graveyard or just summon it at all. Um, and then you have like the OTK line next turn, which is really, really, really good. So yeah, that's basically how you play Trinibiru with the first line. Let's get into the gate line. So now we have the gate. This is how you play Trinibiru with it. Some sequencing may be done better than what I did here. I think I'm still new with the deck. Okay, the cards just released. People will of course get way better at the deck. But yeah, this is the same line as always until we get to the fifth summon. Um, Kepler, normal, get the contracts, get Kingtail, and go for the link to get our scales, get our Necro Slime, and now we're gonna go for the first Pendulum for Kepler. And this is where your opponent might Nibiru if he hasn't Nibiru already, because it's the last point where you can Nibiru. It makes no sense to do it before we do the Pendulum Summon, and if he keeps Nibiru from here, it's just a dead card because we can contest with the Link 3. So this and the fifth summon are the only two spots where your opponent can Nibiru you. And if Nibiru is here, I accidentally shuffled into the deck, but if Nibiru is here, you can still go into the fusion line with the Genghis, and that will trigger to get Copernicus. That's gonna trigger Genghis. Gonna Synchro 6, get Necro, and here I'm gonna go into the contract. I probably should have done contract first. You're gonna lose like the Necro in the graveyard, but if you do contract first, you can revive back Gilgamesh here instead of Necro, so that you just need anybody um, to go into the link 3 instead of having to hard summon it. But it's, basically the same stuff. We go into the second Genghis here. We're gonna go into Caesar, Genghis Revive, Gilgamesh, uh, which will basically do the same stuff. It's just that we don't get to keep the Lance Soldier, which could be bad, and of course the King Solomon. Um, so now, yeah, we just go into the link 3, pop here, will trigger Machinex, summon, pop, then token, get the Machinex, and now you can um, basically just do this. There's no reason to Pendulum Summon anymore because we don't have access to the level 4 tuner so that we can go into Siegfried. So this is basically where our plays would end. But it's really, 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 really good like this. We still have Clovis, Genghis set up with Caesar. Machinex has 4 sucks, I think, something like that. Maybe only 3. We have a Monster Gate, and Graveyard will be basically loaded for next turn. Um, so yeah, that's basically how you play the deck through Nibiru. So this is the deck list that I've come up right now. I'm not too up to date with how DD should look like, especially with the new support, but I'm still messing around with it. Of course, you have like the 12 starters for Throne, Kepler, Machinex, and the Gate. Uh, Double Copernicus. Copernicus is like quite nice as a normal summon, so if you draw it, it's not a bad card. I think it's one of the better like from engine piece to draw into, because then you can use your special summon or anything else. Like if you already draw into Copernicus, you can use the special summon from the gate into something like Griffin, for example, so that then whenever you need a level 4 to revive back, you can revive Griffin, which will search for another DD card, which is really nice. And then, of course, um, you will probably can get it to like draw a card if you then pendulum summon it, which is really cool. Uh, Double Ragnarok. I think this could be cut down to 1. I think you just want to see it like as a scale. So the 1 should be more than enough because this deck, after your first turn, you don't really need to combo anymore. You just uh, go into the new fusion guide and the big Genghis to OTK. So that's just like all you need. So if you want, I'll probably cut this to 1 and play another Zero King contract maybe. Then of course the one of here, the DD Griffin, good extender. Put the one Swirl Slime because sometimes it's really good to just get early if you have a hand that is heavy on engine, having swirls slime in that hand might be good, or if you can just search it with your contracts and stuff, it's a good option to have. Necro Slime, literally part of the combo, but you don't really want to see it in your hand. Arthros as well for access to our Synchro 8 tuners whenever we can't get access to Lance again. And Lance part of the combo. It's pretty great card. Um, the 0 you don't really want to put this at 3 because this isn't really a starter. You need to see another DD card for this to be a start, and then most likely you're either not wasting your normal summon on it, or just uh, I don't know. It's just not really good. It's more of an engine piece at this point. Um, Then the one Swamp King, it's good for it's mandatory because of the gate line, and it's just really really good. The ends with just gate are better than the ones with that don't start with gate because you get to go into the Swamp King contract. I'll probably try to find a way that you can get into these contracts instead of like Orthros. But I would have to like test it more. Um, and of course, DD add-ons. Sometimes if you already have the engine cards, you can just search for this, and it's another interruption. Really really cool. And then you just have like 16 slots. So I put call by because something like troll is really really bad for the deck. Yeah, you'll do like one, two, sometimes three searches in a turn. Three, yeah, with Solomon. You do like three searches in a turn, so Droll is really, really killer. Besides that, you Wallows is also pretty killer. Uh, Valor on Gilgamesh sometimes can be harsh, but uh, you don't really require to go into Gilgamesh to play. You can really really play around Valor on Gilgamesh pretty easily. Um, and yeah, that's basically it for the main deck. Extra deck, double Genghis, because the second Genghis does come up some lines. And then you have the one I King Genghis, the big Genghis is more for going second, or for follow up. For follow up, you make this. It has a spell trap negates. So then, when you summon the new Arc Crisis, you can protect him for a spell trap while the Dark Ruler no more the whole field. Um, so quite nice, and of course the new boss monster is insane. Like you special summon for just like Miracle Fusion, like Contact Miracle Fusion, really, really, really strong. Attacks everything as a Dark Ruler no more, and then this Xyz and the Synchro will give him more effects. Solomon, you've seen it. You just need one for the combo. King Tail also part of the combo. Caesar is mandatory for inboard. Machinex, sometimes if you get into a grind game, the second Machinex might come up. It's really, really good. Then the one Clovis and the one Siegfried for the synchros. Then double Gilgamesh, double Ragnarok. And that's basically it for the video. If you have any questions, be free to ask down below in the comments. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe, never miss any of my future videos, and I'm going to see you guys next time.